that there's a lot of similarities with comedians and actors. But I think the
Yeah,
one thing that comedians do have more so than actors is we deal with rejection maybe better.
yeah, yeah. But there is a lot of similarity. And also, you talk about the clown. Most of what Philippe Gaulier teaches is the Auguste clown. They have different categories of clowns. So they've
Ah,
got like the Piero and they've got the Auguste. And when we talk about the clown, we're probably thinking of the Auguste clown as opposed to the Piero.
yeah,
Because a Piero is still fits the description of a clown, but they're not always trying to be funny. They're the ones with the little white cap and the frilly collar, and they like in the video for Let's Dance by David Bowie.
yeah.
That's they're dressed as a Piero, and the Pieros, what you get in seaside resorts, you'd get a team of Pieros, and they would all just sing songs or play musical instruments, and they wouldn't do any comedy or try to be funny in any way, but they were still technically clowns. And then in a circus, you get the Piero is a sort of authority figure who's bossing the other clowns around, and the ones who are the sort of low status buffoon idiots are the Augusts,
Hmm.
and that's what we think of when we think of clown. And in America, they often call that the hobo.
Hmm.
So it's not just the August, it's the hobo. They call the hobo clown. And in stand-up comedy, there are different types of personae. So, for example, I'm trying to think of an example now. Like some comedians would be. So, have you heard of Sean Mio, for example?
Yeah, he's
He's a brilliant comic.
incredible.
He lives in London. Pardon?
Oh, he's,
He,
I
well,
think
he
the connection and a bit
Sean
funny.
Mio is yeah. Sean Mio is an example of a smart ass comedian, right? And Jack D is another example of a smart ass comedian where they're high status and they are talking down about things. That their whole stance is of one of superiority and being high status. So that would be one example of a type of stand-up comedian persona. And another example of a stand-up comedian persona would be the lovable buffoon. And they are very much have a lot in common with the clown. So, for example, Tim Vine, Harry Hill, Eric Morecambe, from Morecambe and Wise, Tommy Cooper, and Rick Mayall when he did stand-up comedy, because he started out as a stand-up comedian.
Oh,
That the lovable buffoon type of comedian is very similar to the clown. Steve Martin when he used to do stand-up comedy.